History repeats itself in cycles, a phenomenon that is as old as civilization itself. Empires rise to greatness, driven by innovation, unity, and vision, only to crumble under the weight of complacency, corruption, or internal decay. Societies thrive in eras of enlightenment where ideas and progress flourish, but they also succumb to periods of darkness, stagnation, and chaos. This recurring rhythm can be seen in every corner of the world and throughout every chapter of our collective story. Think about the golden ages of history, from ancient Greece to the Renaissance, where creativity, discovery, and human potential reached extraordinary heights. But just as these peaks occur, so too do the valleys, times when fear and greed overshadow wisdom and unity. Wars, economic collapses, revolutions, and rebellions are not anomalies. They are echoes of patterns that have played out over centuries. These cycles are not confined to politics or economics. They extend into culture, religion, and even personal behavior. The same blueprint exists in our institutions, as movements born from noble ideals often transform into rigid systems over time. What begins with passion and purpose becomes weighed down by bureaucracy and selfish ambition. The struggle between innovation and resistance to change is constant. Over and over again, history demonstrates this interplay of forces. Those who wield power, whether as rulers, leaders, or influencers, rarely operate in a vacuum. Their strategies, their motivations, and their methods create patterns that can be observed, studied, and ultimately understood. These clues are not always obvious, but they are there for those who pay attention. From the monuments built by ancient kings to the policies crafted by modern governments, power inscribes itself on the fabric of society in ways both overt and subtle. In the actions of those who dominate the stage of history, you can see recurring tactics: divide and conquer, the control of information, the centralization of resources. These are not new ideas, but timeless strategies that have been employed across eras and civilizations. The rise of empires like Rome, the dynasties of China, and the colonial expansions of European powers share strikingly similar blueprints. The language and technology might change, but the fundamental playbook remains consistent. Even in the symbols of authority, whether it's the crown, the throne, the flag, or the laws. The fingerprints of power are evident. These symbols are not mere decorations. They are tools of influence designed to inspire allegiance, fear, or a sense of belonging. Behind every throne or title lies a network of systems, alliances, and carefully orchestrated plans that reveal how power consolidates itself and maintains control. And it's not just the victories or achievements that leave clues. Failures, betrayals, and revolutions provide insights into how power shifts, crumbles, and reasserts itself in new forms. Every rebellion tells a story about what the powerful underestimated, what the people desired, and how the balance of control changed. Truth versus illusion. The battle between what is real and what we are told is real is an age-old struggle that plays out across history. Those in power have long understood the power of illusion. They know that control is not only about force or wealth, but about shaping perception, bending minds, and altering reality through carefully crafted narratives, selective truths, and the manipulation of information. The powerful create a version of reality that serves their interests. They build systems of belief that seem immutable, unquestionable, but in reality they are illusions, designed to keep the masses docile, distracted, and unaware of the truth. This illusion doesn't always take the form of outright lies. It can be far more insidious through omission, misdirection, or subtle manipulation of facts. Political leaders, religious figures, and cultural icons alike have long used their position to control what people believe by shaping the narrative around what's acceptable, what's normal, and what's possible. They create a world where certain ideas are protected while others are marginalized. The truth, meanwhile, often lies buried beneath layers of distortion, forgotten in the noise of manufactured consent. Look at any society in history and you'll see how illusion is woven into the very fabric of culture. From the divine right of kings to the corporate-controlled media of today, those who control the flow of information control the minds of the people. They provide just enough truth to maintain the illusion of fairness, democracy, or justice, while obscuring the deeper, uncomfortable realities. The story of history is often one of uncovering these layers of illusion, seeking to pull back the curtain and reveal the forces that work behind the scenes. Forces that seek to perpetuate their hold on power by controlling the very narrative of our lives. But it's not just the powerful who are complicit in this creation of illusion. We, the people, are often willing participants in maintaining it. It's far easier to live within the boundaries of a comfortable illusion than to confront the hard truths of life. The illusion offers certainty, stability, and a sense of belonging, while the truth often requires discomfort, growth, and the breaking down of old paradigms. So while those in power craft these illusions to maintain their dominance, we too become complicit when we accept them without question, when we allow ourselves to be lulled into a sense of complacency by the stories we're told. Breaking the cycle requires more than just awareness. It demands action, commitment, and an unwavering resolve to step outside the repetitive patterns that define our existence. History, as we've seen, moves in cycles, whether it's the rise and fall of empires, the boom and bust of economies, or the recurring failures and triumphs of human behavior. These cycles are deeply ingrained in our social, political, and personal lives, and they often feel inevitable, as if we are trapped in an endless loop, unable to escape the forces that govern our fate. But breaking free from this cycle is possible, and it begins with recognizing that we have the power to rewrite our stories, to create new patterns of thinking, acting, and living. The first step in breaking the cycle is understanding how it operates. These cycles don't just happen. They are built on a foundation of beliefs, behaviors, and systems that perpetuate themselves. At a societal level, these cycles are often maintained by the powerful who benefit from the status quo, but at an individual level, we are all complicit in upholding these patterns, whether consciously or unconsciously. The way we think, the way we react, and the way we interact with the world around us all contribute to the cycle. The thoughts we allow ourselves to dwell on, the habits we reinforce every day, and the way we respond to challenges, these are all part of the pattern. To break the cycle, we must first examine these underlying patterns in our own lives. What beliefs are holding us back? What fears are keeping us stuck in the same place? What habits are preventing us from moving forward? It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that change is too difficult, that breaking free from these cycles is impossible. After all, They've been around for so long, and they seem to have such a tight grip on our lives. But that's the illusion at work, the belief that we are powerless to change our circumstances. The truth is that breaking the cycle requires nothing more than a shift in perspective, a willingness to challenge the beliefs that have kept us locked in place. Once we recognize the cycle for what it is, we must take deliberate action to disrupt it. This often means stepping out of our comfort zones, confronting our fears, and making choices that feel difficult or uncomfortable in the short term, but will lead to growth and transformation in the long run. It may mean standing up to authority, questioning long-held assumptions, or making drastic changes in our lives that challenge the very foundation of the cycle. But it's through these bold actions that we can begin to create a new path, one that leads away from the repetition of the past and toward the possibility of something greater. But breaking the cycle isn't just about taking action, it's about sustaining that action over time. The cycles we seek to break are often deeply ingrained, and the forces that try to pull us back into the old patterns will be strong. It's easy to slip back into old ways of thinking, to fall into old habits, or to give in to the pressures of the world around us. That's why breaking the cycle requires a deep commitment to change. It's not enough to make a few changes and hope for the best. To truly break free, we must embrace the process of transformation, knowing that it will require continual effort, resilience, and growth. This is a journey that may take years, not days or weeks, and it will require an unwavering belief in the possibility of a better future. As we break the cycle, we must also recognize that we are not alone in this endeavor. Change is not a solitary pursuit. When we choose to break free from the patterns that have held us back, we also become part of a larger movement, one that seeks to create a new narrative, a new reality. We inspire others to take action, to challenge their own cycles, and to work together to build a better world. When we break the cycle, we don't just change our own lives, we change the lives of those around us, creating a ripple effect that spreads far beyond our own immediate sphere. The power of knowledge is one of the most formidable forces on earth. It is the foundation upon which civilizations are built, the catalyst for innovation, and the key to unlocking human potential. Throughout history, knowledge has driven the progress of nations, the evolution of technology, and the transformation of societies. From the invention of the wheel to the discovery of electricity, the understanding of the natural world and the principles that govern it has reshaped the course of human existence. Knowledge is not just information, it is the ability to apply that information to make informed decisions, solve problems, and create change. What makes knowledge so powerful is its ability to transcend boundaries. Now, it doesn't matter where you come from, what your background is, or what resources you have at your disposal. Knowledge has the power to level the playing field. In fact, it can often be the great equalizer in a world where opportunity is not always evenly distributed. A person with knowledge, even without wealth or status, has the ability to shape their own destiny. When you gain access to knowledge, you gain access to the keys to unlock doors that might otherwise remain closed. It's the foundation of freedom from ignorance, from manipulation, and from the limitations imposed by lack of understanding. But knowledge is not static. It is constantly evolving. The world we live in today is vastly different from the world of a century ago. And the changes continue to accelerate. What was once considered cutting edge is now outdated. And what we know today may be overturned by new discoveries tomorrow. This constant evolution of knowledge is both a challenge and an opportunity. It means that the quest for understanding is never truly finished. There's always more to learn, new perspectives to consider, and deeper truths to uncover. The pursuit of knowledge is in many ways a lifelong journey, one that requires curiosity, humility, and a willingness to challenge our own assumptions. However, knowledge alone is not enough. It's not just about accumulating facts or memorizing data. The true power of knowledge lies in its application. In order for knowledge to truly be transformative, it must be used to make decisions, to solve problems, and to create value. It is only when knowledge is applied that it becomes truly powerful. The difference between a person with knowledge and a person who is truly wise is the ability to use that knowledge to improve their life, the lives of others, and the world around them. Wisdom is the bridge between knowledge and action, the ability to discern when and how to apply what you know. Moreover, knowledge has the power to create connections. As we learn more about the world, we begin to see the interconnectedness of everything. The more we understand, the more we realize how much we are all linked. Whether it's through technology, through the environment, or through the shared experiences of being human. Knowledge allows us to break down the walls that divide us and to build bridges that connect us. It enables us to work together toward common goals, to share ideas and to solve problems that impact all of humanity. The more knowledge we share, the more collective wisdom we accumulate, and the greater our potential becomes to create positive change. Yet the power of knowledge is not without its dangers. Knowledge, when misused or misunderstood, can be a force for destruction rather than creation. Throughout history, we've seen how knowledge has been exploited for manipulation, control, and oppression. Those in positions of power have often sought to control access to knowledge, to distort the truth, and to use information as a weapon. In this digital age, the battle for control over information is more critical than ever. The spread of misinformation and the manipulation of facts can have profound consequences, leading people down false paths, inciting division, and perpetuating ignorance. This is why the ethical use of knowledge is so important. Knowledge must be wielded responsibly with a commitment to truth, fairness, and the greater good. When used with integrity, knowledge becomes a force for liberation. But when abused, it can become a tool of deception and harm. Ultimately, the true power of knowledge lies in its ability to empower individuals and societies to shape their own futures. It allows us to break free from the limitations of ignorance and to chart our own courses in life. The more we learn, the more we realize our own potential. Knowledge opens doors to opportunities, to innovation, to personal growth, and to societal transformation. But we must never stop seeking it, for knowledge is a living, breathing entity that evolves with us as we grow. And as long as we are willing to pursue it with passion, curiosity, and integrity, the power of knowledge will remain one of the greatest forces available to us. In conclusion, the power of knowledge, the recognition of history's repeating cycles, and the ability to break free from illusions are essential to shaping our future. By understanding the patterns that govern societies and individual behavior, we can make informed decisions and challenge the status quo. Knowledge isn't just about gathering facts, it's about applying it with wisdom and integrity to drive change and create a better world. Ultimately, it is through breaking the cycles of the past, uncovering truths, and harnessing the power of knowledge that we unlock the potential for growth, transformation, and collective progress.